Alright everyone, so I know you had a blast doing that epic cat coloring activity we did in class and how long it took you to color the cute cat and how long it took your partner to color the cute cat and then how long it took both of you to color the cats together. And when you combine everything into two fractions, you equal 1 because together, when you combine how long it takes you and your partner individually with how long it takes you to do it together, when you add those two fractions together, you get 1 because you have completed one job. Okay, so this is kind of the formula we use, and it's pretty cool that we have a formula that helps us to calculate things about how long we can like kind of guess how long it would take someone to do a job based on how long it takes for you to do it together and how long it takes you to do it, or whatever combination you want. You can predict how long it'll take you and your bestie to do a job if you both time yourself separately, and you can use this formula to calculate how long it would take you to do it together. So it's kind of cool that there's a formula that kind of calculates that for you. So if you're ever in like a business with someone where you're like mowing grass or something, or I don't know, painting a house, this is a really good formula because you can kind of predict how long it'll take you to do it by yourself or your partner to do it by yourself, or how long it'll take you to do it together. So it's actually kind of cool. But anyway, so in the formula, what all these nifty variables mean, the x is the time it takes both people to complete the one job. So when you do it together, that's how long it takes. T sub 1 is how long it takes one of the people to do a job, and T sub 2 is how long it takes the other person to do the job. So it doesn't really matter which one you assign to which, but these two are different variables, you guys. T sub 1 is something different from T sub 2. I know they look alike, but they are different variables, so be careful. Okay, so let's get going. So let's see if we can identify the x, T sub 1, and T sub 2. So Jason can clean a large tank. That should say tank, not take. Sorry, guys. Change that to tank. But anyways, Jason can clean a large tank at an aquarium in about 6 hours. Holy hot dog, that must be one big tank. When Jason and Lacey work together, they can clean the tank in 3.5 hours. So they get it done a lot faster when they work together. About how long would it take Lacey to clean the tank if she works by herself? So using this formula, based on how long it takes Jason to clean the tank and how long it takes them to clean it together, we can figure out how long it'll take Lacey to clean by herself. So she can brace herself if she ever has to clean this tank by herself. So let's see if we can identify the different pieces in the formula. So Jason can clean the tank in 6 hours. So that's one of the individuals. So it doesn't matter which one we assign. Since it's the first one, I might as well just assign it T sub 1. So the time it takes Jason to clean is our T sub 1. It's 6 hours. Alright, so that will be our T sub 1 in the formula. And when Jason and Lacey work together, they clean the tank in 3.5 hours. So that will be their combined time, which is the x. So their combined time, this is going to be the x, will be 3.5 hours. Alright, and then T sub 2, about how long will it take Lacey to clean it by herself? So that's what we're solving for. So this is what we're solving for, and this will be Lacey's time it takes. Okay? Alright, so let's set this up, and then, since we're solving an equation, we'll have to find the LCM, the undefined, and then get to work on solving this thing. So our combined time, both of the x's in the formula are going to be 3.5. So 3.5, oh, dropped my paper. Sorry, guys. Alright, 3.5 will be in our numerators. Alright, our T sub 1 in our first fraction is going to be 6 for Jason's time. Hopefully Lacey can clean a little faster. I mean, geez, that's a long time to clean a fish tank. And then T sub 2 is the one we're looking for, will be Lacey's time, which we don't know, so I'm just going to leave it as T sub 2. So again, you guys, that's one variable. That's not like two separate variables. That's one variable. Alright, and then it equals our one job. And this, you guys, always equals 1, no matter what. Alright, so what is our least common multiple? So if I grab one thing from every single denominator, what I'm going to end up with is a 6 and a t sub 2. So I have a 6 here and a t sub 2 there. So that's going to be my LCM. Alright, now the undefined, you guys, I only care about the part with the variable. Okay, these two are technically two separate factors because they're multiplying together. The 6 and the t sub 2 are two separate factors. Okay, and the only thing that will ever go to 0 potentially is the t sub 2. 6 will never equal 0, so I don't have to worry about that. So all I have to do is set the t sub 2 not equal to 0. And since nothing else is really with it, I'm done with that. So if we ever get 0 as our t sub 2, we have to cross it out immediately and call it undefined so our kitten does not die. Because remember, when the denominator equals 0, a kitten dies, and that's not allowed in Miss Long's class. Okay, which we probably won't get that because that doesn't really make sense, because if t sub 2 is Lacey's time, that means it would take Lacey like 0 time to clean the tank. So unless like Lacey is like some wizard, you know, in the Harry Potter world where she just like moves her wand and bam, it's clean, that's not possible. So, but I don't know, maybe she is a wizard. Let's find out. But if we get that, it can't work. So I guess it could work in the wizarding world, but not in this world. But anyways, let's see what happens. Alright guys, so remember, whenever we solve an equation, we multiply every single numerator by our LCM. Every single one of them. So I'm going to multiply all my numerators by 6 times t sub 2. Okay? So I'm just going to rewrite this all in one color just to make it consistent. Okay, so, what color should I pick? This is a hard choice, you guys. I don't know. I guess I'll pick green. Might as well. So we have 3.5 over 6. I'm going to leave some space so I can multiply by the LCM. Plus 3.5 over our t sub 2. I'm going to leave some space, and then equals 1. And then whatever's left over, I'll multiply by the LCM. So I multiply every single numerator by my LCM. So times 6 times t sub 2. And guys, there secretly is multiplication in between these two, so be careful. Okay, then times 6 times t sub 2, and times 6 times t sub 2. Alright, and remember, you guys, the goal is to cancel out our denominators. We want them to go away. So let's make our denominators go away. Okay, so what's going to cancel out from our first fraction? It is the 6's. Karate chop. They go away. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, so those will get canceled out. So 6's cancel out. So what I'm left with here is 3.5 times t sub 2, or 3.5 t sub 2. Plus, what's going to cancel out here? It's the t sub 2's. Bam, bam, bam. They cancel out. So I'm left with 3.5 times 6, which that's going to give me 21. Alright, then equals 1 times 6 times t sub 2. Now in this one, nothing's going to cancel out, so I just multiply them. So this will end up being 6 times t sub 2, or 6 t sub 2. Alright guys, and from here we just solve this bad boy for t. So I'm going to bring this up here. Alright, now I want to bring my t's together. So I want to bring this t to join that t first. So remember, always bring your variables together first if they're on opposite sides of our equation. So the way I bring a positive 3.5 t sub 2 to the other side is by subtracting it on both sides. Alright, which 3.5 t sub 2 minus 3.5 t sub 2, that's kind of fun to say, cancels out and turns to 0. And on this side, 6 minus 3.5 gives me a 2.5. And then remember, when you add or subtract variables, leave them alone. So 2.5 t sub 2. So what I'm left with is 21 equals 2.5 t sub 2. Alright guys, let's solve this thing for t sub 2, which is Lacey's time. Alright, the way I bring my 2.5 to the other side is by, since they are secretly multiplying, I'm going to divide that thing on both sides. Alright, well on this side they'll cancel out. So we'll be left with t sub 2 equals 21 divided by 2.5 is approximately 8.4 hours, which we'll just round to the nearest decimal. It didn't specify, so I'll just round to the nearest tenth of a decimal. So this will be 8.4, and don't forget your units, since all these are in hours, it'll be hours. So, holy hot dog, Lacey, you took even longer than Jason. What is wrong with you people? This must be like the biggest fish tank ever. They must be cleaning like an aquarium, like the aquarium in Atlanta or something. This is a huge aquarium tank. Jeez. But anyway, so that would be how long Lacey takes. She takes 8.5 or 8. Good golly, guys, 8.4 hours to clean the tank. Awesome job, you guys. Who's ready for example 2? I'm totally ready.